Hey guys, it's Ethan, the Netflix Gamer here. Welcome back to the channel. And today I want to talk about Netflix games and whether or not Netflix can become the next major game platform. Now, as you don't know, with gaming we have sort of the three big dogs when it comes to consoles. There's been Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, and then also you have Valve on PC with Steam. Now, we've seen many companies obviously try to break into the gaming industry or like the gaming market, or we've seen companies like Sega, for instance, be a dominant player for years and then they just fizzle out. Now, what I want to go for, guys, is how Netflix games can avoid those issues and how Netflix games has a unique advantage over platforms like Google Stadia did and how they can compete. Now, first of all, let's all start with the fact that, well, Netflix has a huge IP catalog, you know, a huge IP catalog. Stranger Things, Roald Dahl, Miller World, stuff like Storybots, Kid Cosmic, Inside Job, BoJack Horseman. There's so much stuff that Netflix has made and owns, and they could turn it into video games that it's basically infinite. You know, obviously they always got all this new stuff coming out. They've got uh, obviously other stuff that they can acquire, plus games that they own from their acquisitions of companies like Spry Fox or Night Studios. Netflix Games has huge potential when it comes to IP games and games related to Netflix's IP catalog. That is the first major reason because Google doesn't have that. Google doesn't have the ability to make games based on hit shows, nor did OnLive, nor did any other gaming platform really that existed until now. Right? Second big reason is the funding. Now, funding isn't really as big as you'd think because Google Stadia had the funding of what, $1 trillion company and still failed. But Netflix is obviously quite stable financially, obviously with 30 billion, like roughly $30 billion in annual revenue. So that's a huge thing for them because that means Netflix has the ability to just kind of throw some money at it and see what happens, see what works. And that's a huge thing with a lot of game companies now. A lot of game companies can't do that when they're trying to break into the gaming industry with a platform. Like look at Ouya. The third thing, Netflix has a huge install base. Now people talk about oh it's only mobile games. Well yeah, mobile games have like people like there's like 4 billion people on the planet have a smartphone. I know Netflix games is only available when Netflix operates, so that cuts out China, Russia, Syria, and I think it's Crimea. I'm not entirely sure about that one. Oh no, North Korea. That's the other one. So besides that, Netflix games is fair game in every other country. They could do whatever they wanted, and that's 221.3 million potential customers to Netflix games or gamers to Netflix games who already pay for Netflix for film and TV. You know, and that's just kind of how it is. Now, the final reason I want to make, the final point I want to make, is that Netflix is also the first company to really master streaming video on demand. Now, people will obviously argue, oh, hang on, how's that fair? Well, think about this. Netflix also did a bunch of interactive specials and interactive movies and stuff like Black Mirror. Black Mirror, you had Black Mirror Bandersnatch and whatnot. So to me, I'm looking at that like Netflix knows how to make sure the lag is minimal. Make sure it knows how to make because interactive movies is basically just games. So that's literally what they were back in the 90s with like the Philips CDI and whatnot. So to me, those well, looking at Netflix, it's sort of like, oh, cool. You have this game, and obviously now you can do it lag free or with as minimal lag as possible over cloud gaming, and that could lead to Netflix having as many limitations as other platforms. Now, there are some issues obviously with Netflix games. I will not deny that. Like the game catalog still isn't the greatest over a year later. They haven't really provided many of the games they own, which I think is a little unfortunate. I do hope Netflix does change that in 2023, and hopefully the catalog over doubles. You know, but to me, Netflix games looks like it's built for success. It's got the IP catalog to utilize. It's got six studios making games very exclusively. It's got obviously got stuff like cloud gaming being worked on and implemented into Netflix games. So there's a huge roster of things that are working in Netflix games' favor, and all they really need to do is get the like the games running on smart TVs, and then they're all set. They don't need to worry. They could win. Well, not really win, but like, they could become a major platform because companies like Google tried to strong on the way into gaming by making deals with companies like Ubisoft, and whatnot for sort of a few games, and then they just kind of stopped. Google Stadia's game studios, Stadia Games Entertainment, was shut down after 18 months. only 18 months mean they didn't have enough time to make a single game. Netflix Games obviously has acquired studios that have been working for years and set up two of their own. Now, I made jokes on Twitter and that whole Netflix Games needs to last to May and then it's like last to Google Stadia Games and Entertainment. That is true. And currently, the way it's going, it seems like Netflix is really pushing the idea of this because obviously they have more exclusive games. They have tons of games planned for 2023. You know, they're bringing the Narcos game back. They're bringing all this stuff back for Netflix Games. It's costing them money, and they're willing to make that investment to try and get people onto Netflix and stay longer on Netflix. Because the whole point of Netflix Games is to make retention longer. You know, keep people subscribing, keep people on there. You know, not just for movies and TV, but for games. And Netflix Games is in a huge advantage compared to Google Stadia and a lot of other game platforms because of what they're doing. Because Netflix has the experience with cloud streaming, they have the experience with if lag and like games sort of stuff on these services. They have 6 game studios working on games. I know people are like, well, Microsoft's got 23, Sony's got like 17. Yeah, whatever. Studio count doesn't really matter, but Netflix has a bunch of talented developers making great games for them. And to me, I'm looking forward to seeing what Netflix games can do in 2023, where they go, what they announce. Maybe they acquire something, maybe they don't. Maybe they announce some games on Roll Dial or something. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, guys. All I know is I think Netflix Games has a huge potential for growth and a huge potential to become a major player in gaming if Netflix plays the cards right. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments down below. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel to 100 subs. Obviously, like the video, share, all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.